Hello and welcome to the interactive segment of Joy News Prime. As always, this is the part of the show where we get to hear from you. You can find us on social media, facebook.com/Joy News on TV, on Twitter @Joy News on TV, and our WhatsApp number is 0560800,000. Please add your name and location when sending your messages, especially to our WhatsApp platforms. Now, I'm not doing the show alone. Israel is here, and Israel, it has been a day of mistakes, as we mentioned earlier on in the news, and, particularly pertaining to the 59th independence anniversary celebration of our great nation. Now, we've already been through the sort of typographical and grammatical errors that fill the Independence Day brochure and the subsequent apology. So it's time to hear from you, our viewers, and we want to know what you think about this. Let's start with Facebook, shall we? Israel.
Right, so let's get to Facebook and some of the pictures. So here is the press statement that came from the first press statement that came from the Information Services Department. They apologizing for the errors, but let's look at the errors first. The errors are here also on our Facebook page, and it goes like this. So this is one of them. So this one has Ghana has a checkered but interesting history in the true sense of the word, as if by divine designed. Usually you're going to say as if by divine design.
Yes.
So that's just one of them. And then the coat. This one also says the coat of arms. Typically, it's the coat of arms.
Yes.
So that's another one. And then Ghana-Kenya relations, and it goes on. This one is quite a bit. And here too. This is where we have the address by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Ghana. And that image.
I think this one had everybody like,
oh yeah,
wow, really?
I'm sure this one actually was what the President of Kenya was pointing to out to President Mahama. He was telling him, "Did you guys just make me president?"
So what have people actually been saying about all of this?
Then let's get to what people are saying. And let's go to this statement that came through. And it's getting 80 shares. And here, Yusuf says, another error again in an apology letter meant for an error in the Independence Day brochure. So they saw this almost 2 months ago. All right, so you're trying to be sarcastic about it. They saw this almost 2 months ago and couldn't do anything about it. Where did we go wrong as a nation? John Poby says, nothing seems to work. Apology letter meant for errors in an Independence Day brochure written some 2 months back. So they knew of these errors ahead, isn't it? No, that's not exactly what it actually means. And now Idrisu says this was intentionally. They could have corrected it 2 months before. Okay, people are just concluding that if they wrote this apology 2 months ago, it means that they saw the error 2 months ago. I think that you must get this clear. It was an error actually in the dating of the statement. So that's what the point is. Let me see if anybody else. Everybody is just pointing back to this. They saw this mistake 7 weeks ago. Edmond says, "Oh my God! So NDC will not get." Anything correct in this our time, since they are forcing themselves on the Information Service. They even forgot to change the date on the letter. Or Information Service intentionally made it so to show their innocence. Oh God save our country. And Bernard Miles says, this is how this era government is managing the country. Incompetence at its best. Arise for change in November, Ghanaians. And Edmond Asante says, ha ha ha, funny. What damage control is Mr. Francis Kwarteng other trying to do? You see, can't we public servants be our own self and man enough and stop being used by politicians to clean this mess? And he goes on and on. It's quite a bit. Let's see what's coming
on WhatsApp. So Esther Ganu in Kumasi first sends a message and says, please let's forgive them to err as human. And then she comes back to say, Ifwa, this is a clear indication that people sit in their offices without doing any work, yet they get paid. Okay, this one says, comedy of errors indeed. We just love celebrating mediocrity. This is unacceptable and unpardonable. And this is from Yakubu Ibn Chambas in Bolga. This one says, Ghanaians can talk too much. If there's a mistake, it shouldn't be something that we should be bargaining off. Okay, this is from Abel in Rara. But this is a huge mistake, Abel, with dignitaries from other countries, okay, coming to our country and getting this brochure, okay. This is one coming from Thomas in Sunyani, who says, the one who made these naughty mistakes, even the entire president of Ghana, that's referring to president of Kenya being called president of Ghana, says, in fact, this is very strange. Head should roll. And this one is from Thomas in Sunyani. So this one says, for me, those basic blunders in the brochure explain why we don't need a wholesale free education. It's quite funny, but really serious. Even the apology letter is riddled with errors. God help Ghana. And this one is from Berima Kubaji in Jene. So those are some of your comments, but at least the mistake has...
Yeah. So the mistake was eventually corrected. The mistake in the statement has eventually been corrected. So you see this one that came out, again signed by Francis Kwarteng Arthur, acting director, but this time the date is Accra, March 7th, 2016. And even then, people are having issues with it.
Even that one, people are having issues with it.
It should actually be reading March 7. Not
without
March
the
7,
TH.
without the TH.
Oh,
because we put the number typically after the month,
yeah,
then you ignore the TH at the end of it.
Oh.
Otherwise, you can say 7th March.
Yes. All right. Okay. So also trending on social media, the photograph of journalists being carted in a tipper truck for the photo men to capture some movement of the president. Now, the public has had mixed reactions to this story. Let's hear them.
I don't think it's advisable seeing journalists back in a cheaper truck. Ghana is more than this. We don't have to pay journalists. People that can gather information for us and then be of our nation's future. So I don't think it's the best seeing our journalists back in a cheaper truck.
That's so awkward. I see that's very weird. In other developed countries, you would see that journalists who serve as a mouthpiece for the public, they are treated so well. They are given special treatment at events like that. So if I think I saw something like that in a flash on TV. I was wondering what's all that. I saw a group of people in a tipper truck, a white one, with security personnel in that car. So I was wondering what was that. So if that is how the journalist was treated, I feel that it's quite unfortunate.
Ghana being 59 and you can't even hire a normal bus for journalists. It's fun.
They accept to be on the tipper truck. If you have your freedom, you accept, then it's their own choice. Because I don't think anybody will be in a tipper truck. It was because now we have democracy. They prefer to be in a tipper truck. It's an art. It's an art. Yeah. If those Jack who are also displaying, they also want to be. It's an art. It's 50 years. You can't do the same thing every way. One day you'll be entered, next time to be Chololi. So I don't think it's anything. It's a nice thing. You can always don't be. People are saying that the country is hard. So if you're in tipper truck, you are showing that things are hard. If things are rosy, you'll be in this you'll be in Chevrolet, open like in the US. So when it's in tipper truck, they also have to face the real.
So, quite a number of reactions from the streets, okay? So, Israel has what's going on Facebook about this particular photo that's been going around, and it was asked to be captioned. And oh boy.
Okay, so this is the photo that's on our Facebook page. You can see some of the media men climbing into the bucket of the tipper truck. And indeed, can you see this guy? Whilst they were climbing into the tipper truck, this photographer was actually taking his shot. He preferred to see them climbing into the truck. Okay, and then let's move on. So here they are in the truck itself. Let me get to the comments. And it's gotten 71 shares, 304 reactions. Kwame says, as you can see, nobody is forcing them to get into the truck. They are doing it all by themselves. Media houses in Ghana are lazy and stiff. They're always looking for people to make arrangements for them to do their job. These so-called media houses, and goes on, have a company pickup truck for their staff to use to cover this program. That comes on once every year. If you don't make your own plans to cover events and always depend on someone else, this is what you get. You either do your job or shut up. Now,
okay,
Kwame,
I think Ike has something a bit wrong there.
yeah, let me point something out to you, Ike. We couldn't have sent our own vehicle into the Independence Square area, onto the parade ground. In fact, you can't allow just any vehicle at all to enter the parade ground because it's a controlled area, it's a security area, and so they're restricting who comes there. And I believe this was the reason why they felt that, well, we could make things a lot easier for them by putting them into the bucket of the tipper truck to move them about and get them to where the action is. And so that's why they did that. Now, Yankama says 80% Ghanaians are in better Ghana agenda and 20% Ghanaians are in better Ghana agenda, but still Ghanaians will vote for better Ghana agenda again. Lack of knowledge. And then Richmond question says there were beautiful scenes at today's independence celebration that you can put out to sell Ghana positively, not these pictures, which means nothing. Come on, Joy News. You guys, you know better. Jacob says BBC and CNN journalists visit war zones in the middle of wars or conflicts to take pictures and videos at the risk of their precious lives. They make no complaints because that's their work and they must get it done in any possible way. And you don't find anything wrong with it, that's fine. Nana Amma says, is Nanado going to celebrate the real Independence Day Ghana at 59? So MPP loyalties can march past him at Nima residence or in Kumasi. Enoch says, this is so special. This is a special caution to you, journalists. Take bold decisions by telling the truth to your listeners and viewers and stop that hypocrisy style of journalism. Those in charge made a mistake by giving you an old jumper truck. They should have given you wheelbarrow. Women-based journalists at all. Ghana, we all suffer together. Nonsense, shaggy, Dan Katwa.
Hey, I have no idea where he's going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me take.
But there's one other comment. There was one other post actually.
A reaction actually to all this.
To all this, and this guy, Wisdom Peter, who he's a journalist himself, and he starts off by saying, "Good morning. I didn't want to do this because I'm not the spokesperson for the 59th Independence Day Celebration Committee of our country." Let me skip and says, my comment is informed largely by photos of some media personnel climbing onto the bucket of truck or seen in the bucket of the truck. I've seen photos posted by, and it goes on, and with a few others with the usual bad press about the event, and not surprisingly, the usual attack on the president. My biggest influence is when I listen to my good friend, David Ando from Multimedia Live on Joy FM, lying in between his teeth to the whole world. As a journalist and or a photographer, photojournalist, getting your story, photographs for your media house, no matter the difficult circumstances one went through, is a motivation of every media person. I was glad when he said he didn't join the track, but got all his photographs. How wonderful. This tells you that getting the story is the most important thing. Mr. Ando and others claim media personnel were kept in obscure corners and didn't see anything, but they still got their stories. And so he presents some facts. I'd like to take us through the facts.
No, wait. Before you take us to the facts, basically he says that there were there's some accreditation issues, and then there were 4 platforms for journalists, okay, that were provided. But then he goes to talk about the truck. So please read about the truck. Let's go down and tell us about the truck.
Exactly.
He says the truck is the main issue.
The track is the main issue. It must be placed on records that the track was to facilitate movement, accessibility for the coverage of the inspection of the parade, and most importantly, to prevent any chaotic situation that usually characterize such functions. No media person was obliged to climb or jump into the track. In fact, it was optional. It wasn't the platform for the coverage of the whole proceedings, as the photos flying around sought to claim. It's a media personnel who complained about the use of a shorter track in previous celebrations. So this time, a bigger and taller track was provided to carry them to points where they could cover the inspection. I think sometimes our level of journalism is so cheap. Okay, so that's his understanding. That's his understanding of this. Yeah, his appreciation of the events.
Yakubu is just saying, really, so our much touted representatives of the fourth estate of the country's governance structure packed in a tipper truck to cover a national event. How did we get here? Okay, now let me share a photo with you. It's still all about the Independence Day parade, okay, and in solidarity with Ghana, okay, DHL decided to post a photo of how beautiful Accra is and wanted to wish us happy Independence Day. Okay, so we posted up that photograph on Facebook, and Asia is trying to get that. That
Right.
is it. Okay.
So here's the photo.
Today, Ghana celebrates its independence. Here's a photo of the beautiful streets of Ghana. And someone is not happy with this photograph
Because
and thinks that this...
because indeed, well, this is not exactly a beautiful photo of, because we have more beautiful streets, as you can see.
And
okay.
he complained, and they came back to reply and said, we deeply apologize for our tweet not portraying Ghana in a more positive light. Happy Independence Day, hashtag DHL cares. So that was what it was. But it wasn't all bad news, okay? It was a beautiful day yesterday. The parade did have its very colorful moments. I want to find out from you, what was your most memorable?
The policewomen, they gave us a real good show, and they showed us that women, whatever men can do, women can do, and can do it perfectly without any mistakes. Yes.
What didn't you like?
What I didn't like was this man, Papa Nice, colonial policemen's show. If they had just come to march, it would have been all right. But for them to come and play comedies, they don't fit right into the program. Did not fit right into the program at all. We are commemorating our 59th anniversary, and we needed other things that makes Ghana look like we are moving forward.
The ceremony turned out to be very good. There were a lot of massive people who wanted to see how our culture is being run and so on and so forth. Most of them are these stories and so on and so forth. Some also came just to see the president so that at least they can transact good business and so on with one nation and another. So I think it's a good thing. This can foster the nation forward and then bring in a lot of investors and so on to see to most of the problems at stake, which is...
So some highlights from the streets there about what they liked and what they didn't like about the Independence Day parade. Ijo.
Yes, okay. So I just thought I'll just take you back to my journal online, where the story about the journalist in the back of the truck, and it ends by saying, could it be something like this next time? So this is also a truck, but it's built specifically for, to take photojournalists around, parade grounds like
yes,
like we had at the
I think this is cool.
Yeah, this one was, a little bit more like another dump truck.
All right, so that's it for the interactive segment. Thank you so much for your messages. Thank you for your company. Enjoy what's left of your holiday.